Take a look at the person next to you. Say God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love. Now look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every walk of life, every creed and color, every creed and color, in Him should we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together. 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 In the name of love, we come together. 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 In the name of love, we come together. 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 In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. We come together.
To Unity of Springfield. There we go. The microphone just lit up there. We're going to begin our service today with the welcoming song. You'll find that on page 46 of the Blue Book.
Welcome, welcome, I'm glad you're here with me. Did you know you're one with God for eternity? Welcome, welcome, I'm glad you're here with me. You're not a stranger anymore, now you're family. Welcome, welcome, I'm glad you're here with me. Did you know you're one with God for eternity? Welcome, welcome, I'm glad you're here with me. You're not a stranger anymore, now you're family. You're not a stranger anymore, now you're family.
Or as the old Olive Garden slogan was, when you hear your family. Anyway. Let's take a moment to go into prayer, and we light the Christ candle as a part of our connection to the greater unity movement. We connect and hold individual ministries in prayer each week, and this week we hold all the ministries in the state of Ohio, and having once served one of those churches in the state of Ohio, I especially think of what's called now Unity of Garden Park. It used to be called Garden Park Unity. They switched the name a little bit in Cincinnati. So we think of all of the ministries in Ohio. And we expand our prayer to include the greater world in which we live. And we especially send a lot of prayer, blessing, and support to all the places impacted by the tornadoes this past week. A lot of suffering, a lot of challenges going on there, and we want to feel our blessing and our presence and our support for everyone in the South, in the Midwest. And we give thanks, and so it is. Amen. Now we welcome Bill Shepard, our platform assistant, to continue with the service.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity. We're so glad you are here today, and we extend a special welcome to those of you who are visiting us for the first time. On your way in, you should have received a welcome packet. We also have a gift for you, so please see one of our greeters after today's service. Unity is a worldwide spiritual movement, and we are an inclusive community and welcome all people. Oh, get my papers here. All stuck together. There we go. Today is birthday Sunday, so we invite those of you with birthdays in April to stand, and we will sing to you the birthday song. All right.
I would like to point out that I'm standing in proxy. Not my birthday this month. However, today is my mother's birthday.
Oh,
And she's 100 years old today. Which says something of itself. She's had 2 days of partying and she's tired.
And so are we. Ready now?
happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, you're wonderful. Happy birthday to you. Okay, thank you. I have a few announcements to share with you today. Join us today after the service in Margaret Kane Hall for our monthly fellowship potluck and birthday celebration. Reiki treatments will also be offered after the potluck in the chat room. Use the sign-up sheet located in the foyer to ask any one of our Reiki practitioners wearing an orange lanyard to receive a free 12 to 15-minute treatment. If you are number 1 and 2 on the sign-up sheet, go to the chat room after the potluck to begin your treatment. Other participants, please continue to enjoy fellowship in Margaret Kane Hall until you are called by one of the practitioners. The 9 a.m. spiritual speaking class on Sundays is currently studying The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity by Catherine Ponder. Of course, everyone is welcome to attend, and books are available in our bookstore. Tuesday at 11 a.m., Peggy Tell will host our Unity Prayer Service in Zoom. This is a space to support with prayer those on our prayer list, on our hearts, and in our community. Wednesday at 9:30, Karen Kelly will lead the gathering meditation via Zoom, creating a sacred space for quiet, introspective meditation. Please note that there will not be a meeting on April 16th due to the scheduled spiritual communion service at the church. All are welcome to join in the flute circle with David Tell on Thursday, April 10th at 1 o'clock, held in the sanctuary right here. Beginners are encouraged to come as well. You are also invited to participate in the monthly drumming circle with David on Thursday, April 17th at 6 o'clock p.m. held in Margaret Kane Hall. Unity's Abundance Sale is on May 3rd, and we need volunteers and items to sell. Household goods, books, small items will be accepted. Please, no big furniture or electronics. Our Board of Trustees will be having their annual retreat in May, and input from the congregation is welcome. Share with the board your thoughts, hopes, and aspirations for the future of Unity in Springfield so they can take your ideas into consideration during their planning. We have special services lined up for the Easter week. Starting next week was Palm Sunday on April 13th, a spiritual communion on Wednesday, April 16th at 6:30, Good Friday meditation service, April 18th at noon, then Easter Sunday celebration for the whole family on April 20th. Would you like to help with Sunday hospitality? Sign the sign-up sheet in Margaret Kane Hall after the service to schedule a week that works best for you. For more information, connect with hospitality team co-chair Tina Hoffman or Carol Strick. Emails are sent out weekly that have information on current happenings and how to join in events. To sign up for our emails, ask a greeter for a yellow card to fill out or visit our website to subscribe. Also, check out our website for up-to-date information at unityofspringfieldil.org, all small letters. We would like to give special thanks to those of you on the Community Celebration team and to Jan Miller for chairing. We appreciate all you are doing to get the word out about our Springfield community. Creating our lives and our world through the thoughts and beliefs we hold in mind is a spiritual principle we practice at Unity of Springfield, and we also know these truths together. There is only one presence and in my life, God, the source of all good. In our vision statement, a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. In our mission statement, we recognize God as love, individualized in all people. Therefore, we provide a positive environment for spiritual growth that empowers all to be God's love in the world. And our youth and family ministry affirmation. Our youth and family ministry empowers the next generation with loving kindness and acceptance, creating a safe, sacred space for children, teens, and young adults to explore and discover spirituality. Linda Cantor will now read today's daily word.
Good morning. The word for today is assurance. I live with the assurance of my divinity. There may have been times I doubted my ability to create the life of my highest imaginings and resigned myself to living a limited life. Today, I make a new choice. I see myself as fully divine and fully human. I am so much more than my past. Even if I have made regrettable decisions or disempowering choices, I have the assurance that with each new day, I can begin again and build the life I want to live. As I pray, I feel the limitations of the world fall away. In the silence, I feel the presence of God and the fullness of my own divinity. This is the enduring truth of who I am. I affirm I am strong. I am creative. I am wise. I leave the past behind and eagerly create my future, assured of my eventual success. And from 1 John chapter 4, verse 13, by this we know that we abide in him and he in us, because he has given us of his Spirit. And if you'll join me in the affirmation, I live with the assurance of my divinity. Before we hear today's meditation and message from Reverend Alden, we have special music being performed by Tim Hennebrey and Dave Dell. Lucky us.
Okay. Is the mic on out there? Okay, good. So we're going to get an early jump on Earth Day. This is not exactly a unity song per se, but it's in honor of Earth Day. And this is kind of where we could fit it in. Earth Day, I think, is on the 22nd of this month. So Melissa and Dave are going to help me out on this. And when it comes, we're going to sing the first three verses, and then Danny, I think, is going to put up on the screen, or Frank, I'm not sure who controls which. We'll put up a repeat of the first verse so everyone can join and sing along. Okay? Well, this is called Blue Boat Home. Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor nor port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, and drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home.
with us.
Here we go.
Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
We'll repeat the last line.
And the earth is my blue boat home.
Well, thank you, minstrel trio. When I heard them practicing, I thought, I just need a nice cold Guinness to go along with them. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who makes our service possible, to Gain, Alyssa, and to Dave and Tim, Bill and Linda, our platform folks, Chris and Danny back in the booth, to Ron, who's our greeter today, and we send lots of prayers to Doris, and to Chris Farashad, our administrative director, who makes most of these PowerPoint slides that we enjoy and keeps us organized. And a big thank you to Jen Miller, who helped organize our Unite and Rise prayer vigil yesterday. That went along really well. It was her creation and all the people that contributed to that. And this coming Saturday, we're going to be down at Southern View Park from about 10 to 4 for their spring fling in the park. And we're going to have a booth there to share about our ministry here in Southern View. So that's out there. And also, we have these little handouts about Easter week you can take with you back there that you can just share with anybody, your neighbors, put up on a bulletin board, whatever you wish. And we invested in some advertising in the Southern View newsletter that came out this last week, a full 8.5 by 11 that everybody here got about what we're doing here on Easter. So we'll see about the impact of that connection in the community. And that is the name of our team that does this, the Community Connection Team, formerly marketing team. So you can see it's actually a little more than just marketing. It's getting out in the community and being a presence. So we're going to enter into a time of meditation. And let's just close our eyes and go within as we relax and let go and allow ourselves to enter into that place of calm, quiet, and stillness, to enter into the great heart of God, and to feel our oneness with the entire universe, and everything in it, and everyone in it. And so we set our intentions right now to let go of all of the outer stuff and connect with all that is within us. And within us is a vast world beyond even just what we see physically, even with the greatest telescopes. Into the greater universe, there is a universe within us, a place that Jesus called the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of God. And it is the realm, the place where we experience inspiration, the movement of Spirit of God through us. As we breathe in a relaxed way, in a peaceful way, we can feel ourselves becoming more immersed in this field of inner energy and power, in this inner kingdom, this inner realm. And when we look at the different miracles and blessings and healings that we read about in the scriptures, these all happened through an inner connection, an inner knowing that at the core of our being, at our most essential origination point, creation point, who we are as spiritual beings, that it all comes from there. And all we have to do is to simply allow our mental and intellectual faculties become calm, our emotions to become still and peaceful. And when that happens, what do we have left? We have left our true selves. We have what we call the Christ within. The word Christ, meaning the anointed of Spirit, the anointed of God, and each one of us is anointed. And when we accept that, when we believe it, when we, as the Daily Word said, live with the assurance of our divinity, it is then that our lives, our outlook, our perspective, everything we do in the outer takes on a new energy and radiance and power. And not because of anything that we might do in an external way, but because of our willingness to surrender, to let go, and allow the presence and power of Spirit of the Christ to flow, just flow through our hearts, through our physical bodies, and through our mental capacities. To simply flow freely and fully. And all we have to do is what we're doing now. Just let go. And to just allow the flow to flow. And so let us, for the next few moments, sit quietly, calmly, and peacefully in this place or wherever you're experiencing this service right now. To sit quietly in the silence. And it is from the calmness and stillness and peacefulness of the inner kingdom, of the inner realm of divine expression, that we now move forth from this time of meditation and inner reflection. And we do so with the added benefit of this time of connection spiritually with the core of our being, our spiritual nature, our spiritual selves. And as we move forward into our expression and humanity and humanness, we do so with an extra calmness and perspective and confidence. And for this opportunity we've had to experience this time of meditation, we give thanks and do so in the name and through the power of the indwelling Christ's presence. And so it is. Amen. Well, the words identity and identify are big words today in our vocabulary. And we're very concerned about identity what? Somebody taking our identity theft. And if you've been through any kind of experience of that, you know what a hassle that can be, what a nightmare that can be. Because there are people out there for some reason want our identity. And they don't want it to just try it on and, oh, I want to be like Alden Studebaker. No. They want other things. And there's a whole industry about protecting our identity, and especially given the high-tech aspects of living these days. And we just experienced this in our own family when Donna was going through our bank account, I believe it was, and noticed that my debit card had been used on Amazon, I believe it was. And she asked me about it. And I said, the only time I've ever used my debit card was to get $40 out once from the bank itself several months ago. We knew right away somebody had been able to access all the information they needed to charge something online. Well, it got worked out with the credit union, not a problem, but it was a hassle. And it made us think about, what more can we do to protect that? Needless to say, I now have a new debit card. And I'm giving it to her to hold on to so I don't do anything crazy with it. There's a whole effort out there among scammers to clone phones. It's called SIM swapping. And they try to trick mobile phone providers into allowing them access to our phones. Even the two-step verification. Don't you love the two-step verification? Oh yeah, we love that, don't we? Oh, hey, always, like somebody offers you that and they go, no, no, no. You're just trying to slow me down. But even that doesn't work. And then there's a huge industry around VPN. You know what VPN is? VPN, Virtual Private Network, which allows you to go on your phone into any place that has Wi-Fi, even unsecured Wi-Fi, and nobody knows you're there because you're in your own little network. Nobody can see you. And so we take all these precautions to secure our identity. And by doing so, we secure our what? Our money, our lives. Lately, the government has been making a really big deal about identification when it comes to showing up to vote. You know, it used to be just show your driver's license or you have a government ID or something like that, or you come and you sign on the sheet there to vote. But now there's an effort to make it even more difficult to vote. It's called the SAVE Act, Safeguard American Voter Eligibility, where we now, as American citizens, have to prove our citizenship in order just to be able to vote. So what's acceptable now? Is it your driver's license? Well, no, you gotta have a passport. Okay, or birth certificate or something like that. Even our driver's licenses, you know, the new ones we have, did you get the one with the star on it? So you fly in a plane? We got that years ago, didn't we? Because we fly so much, huh? Even that is not sufficient ID for this. So it was kind of weird because Homeland Security and Social Security already have verified us as citizens if we are part of Social Security and such. And one of the facts about our country and all of us citizens is 140 million of us don't have passports. Also, if your name doesn't match right with your ID, there are 69 million women who have taken their spouse's last name. So, great challenge. A little bit of disenfranchisement, maybe? I don't know what's about. You would think that we would want to have as many people voting who are eligible. Oh, whatever. I don't know what to say about it other than apparently an executive order's been signed, it's passed the House, hasn't passed the Senate. We'll see what unfolds, but it's all about identity and how we can identify ourselves. So this is going on in our national discussion right now. So moving on. Who are you? Who am I? What's our identity? Where do we begin this process? And I've been wondering about it for a long time. Now, usually we start with what? You know, you can identify yourself. What do they always ask you when you maybe go to the pharmacy to get your medications? Name and date of birth. Name and date of birth. Then they'll go and get our stuff for us, because if you don't say that right, you aren't getting it. Or you're at a doctor's office, and they always ask you, you know, when you sit down, immediately, never used to be this way, they want to make sure they have the right person, right? Name, date of birth, get moved to another office for another doctor, name, date of birth, date of birth. And so it goes on, and so we've got these basics of identity, name, date of birth. And so, for me, I usually say Alden Studebaker. And when someone's at the desk and they hear that, they go and they kind of balk for a moment. I said, do you want me to spell that for you? Because I have an unusual name. It's not John Smith. Everybody was out to put that in. One time I was at Walmart, and I was trying to buy some beer. Yeah, so, oh God, our minister was buying beer? I don't know about it. Anyway, I was trying to check out. And they asked to see my ID. I said, what? Why do you want to see my ID? And you know what the answer was? To make sure it wasn't out of date. I go, oh. And that really matters, right? When you're trying to identify whether somebody is over 21. Look at me. When was the last time you saw a 20-year-old like me trying to buy beer? I look so underage, I know. It's the baby face, you know, I don't know. And then your date of birth. You know, there are different ways you can say that. Now, for me, I could say February 19th, 1957, which is how I was taught to say my birthday. But today, you don't really want to say that. They want to hear it more like this, 021919 or 57, like that. So it's like, how do you want it? So I always like to practice before I have to say this when I'm standing in line. Which way do I want to do it today? How do I want to identify my date of birth? We all have this basic, essential, practical identity. So I identify as Alden Studebaker, and one curious thing happened to me when I was on Facebook. Yeah, I spend way too much time on Facebook, but I belong to a group called Studebaker fans. We're not talking about people by the name of Studebaker, we're talking about the automobile Studebaker. And I was scrolling along and I see this post in the group Studebaker fans. And here's what it said. Done with this group because politics plays no part in my interest in Studebaker. And I'm like, yeah. And then I thought, I think I have to respond to this. So I did. I'm trying not to take this rejection personally. Yeah. And you can see that there were a lot of people who thought that response was semi-humorous. Yep. Yeah. We have other identities too, and it's how we appear physically. You know, our skin color, eye color, hair, our, for lack of a better word, I'll use an acronym, DNA. Now recently there's some issues around identity and identity potential theft around 23andMe going bankrupt and all of their data maybe having a breach. If you went through 23andMe, I'm just passing that along. Have you ever had your DNA tested? Anybody? Just show of hands if you want to admit that. Oh, a lot of people, yeah. Did so out of curiosity is what I wanted to find out if my parents were lying about what they told me about my background. And sometimes those DNA markers can be quite revealing and interesting to look at to see where your heritage comes from. And it adds to our sense of identity, don't we? So let's take a glimpse, and I'm going to be the guinea pig again, okay, of, oh wait, no, that's not it. Where the heck did it go?
It was there.
Was it there? Oh, there it is, Alden's 7 ancestral regions. Thank you. When I'm looking at this, I'm looking at a mirror in the back that's showing things. Sometimes it's a little hard to see. But anyway, I'll be the guinea pig. And this is according to Ancestry.com, 2024 of July. They're always changing this. Did you notice how, oh, you were this, and now you're this, and now you're this, and now you're, and you're like, okay, fine. And this time they got very generalistic because it basically says I'm predominantly German Europe. And now German Europe is not like a part of Germany they used to show. It's like they draw a circle with a green marker all around every place in Europe they speak German, which is more than just Germany. They speak it in Austria, Switzerland, part of France, part of Belgium, all over Luxembourg. Not a big country, I've been there. It's a nice place though, looks like Kentucky. Anyway, and the Netherlands, a little bit of the Netherlands. Germanic Europe, 61%. And then you'll see the blue and green up there at the top, the Norway, Denmark, Sweden, that adds up to 28%. So let's face it, I'm mostly German, Scandinavian. And when I've been overseas in Europe and run into people, they immediately assume I'm one of these two. Because I've had people walk up to me and just start speaking German, which is okay for me because I actually do speak German. But when they come up and start speaking Swedish to me, I'm like, I'm an American. I'm just visiting Sweden today. And they go, oh, you're going to move here? I go, no, I'm not moving. So this is my DNA, my identifier from the test that they did. But you'll also notice, way at the bottom, a little blue one, and over on the far right side, a blue area. I'm 2% of that region. These are the Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. Interesting. It also touches some other countries there, Belarus, Russia. So there's a little teeny bit of that there in my DNA. And I must reveal a little bit of that DNA for you. So we're going to watch a video. It's 37 seconds long. Doble ultra, my friends. You know what Premier Putin said about the worst disaster of 20th century was defeat of Soviet Union. And you know, he makes a good point. Because back in those days, we loved to eat pickles. Pickles, big pickles, like these here. Look at the size of these things. I like pickles. You like pickles. You want to eat like Soviet? You must get big pickles like this. Okay. I like pickles. I always have. And I wondered why I always loved pickles, and now I understand, yeah. So we have these identifiers as human beings, okay? Date of birth, DNA, ancestral origins, and nationality. The country that we are citizens of, that's part of our identifying aspect. Now, you recall last year I had a fellow named Joshua Ignacio come here and do like the bowls and the sound vibrational healing stuff. And if you listen to his voice, he sounds very English. I mean English, I don't mean like English. He's from London originally. But he could also identify as an American. Not that he was born here or raised here. But a couple of years ago, he became an American citizen. And then he moved from Kansas to Virginia. And I said, oh, you wanted to be close to where the English first came to America, didn't you, Joshua? You just had, like Jamestown and all that. I was just teasing him, There were other identifiers, such as gender or sex. And this identifier is more complex than our names, our surnames, our date of birth, or our DNA. And this complexity is something that has been present throughout human experience and existence, but it's become, as an identity, more prevalent in today's conversations. You will see if you are on Zoom or LinkedIn or in some other format or even in person, various identifiers where you are identifying as. And when we say identifying as, we are recognizing or deciding what group that we belong to from a gender point of view, a particular category. And it's often used in context of gender identity and other aspects of identity. And so we identify as something and a pronoun. And for me, I'm the guinea pig. I identify as he and him. So you're going to talk about me, I'm a he or a him. And it's all about how we see ourselves from the perspective of consciousness, from the perspective of how we perceive ourselves. And let's understand, it's not necessarily whatever our sex was at birth. It may be neither. That's called non-binary. And this is nothing new. It's not something that just like, all this stuff about gender identity, that just happened like maybe the last 10, 15 years or so. Back in the 90s, I was a minister of, I mentioned it earlier, Garden Park Unity of Garden Park. I had a member of my congregation who was trans femme. Born male, transitioned to female. Named Robert, became Sharon. She was a wonderful member of our church. And she married a man. They were a wonderful couple, friendly couple. I remember going over their house on a Christmas Eve. We had a Christmas Eve service at the church. It was really cold, and we went over to their house, me and the 3 kids. Donna doesn't like coming out at Christmas Eve. She has private Christmas Eve, okay. And had a great time at Sharon's house. When Sharon was Robert, she was Reverend Robert in the United Church of Christ. I have many of Robert Sharon's books in my library back in my office. There are many nuances to gender identity, and if you're curious about that, look it up. I'm not going to be doing that today. In unity, though, we respect and acknowledge everyone's gender identity. Now, even if the government says, oh, there isn't that, there's just two, even if you make an order and, that's how it is, the reality is there are many ways to identify in gender. So, we talked here about many identifiers of identity. What's missing from what we've talked about so far? Probably the most important thing about our identity, and it's something that's not something that's easily noticed. It's something deeper, isn't it? It's our spiritual identity, who we are as children of God. And that's what really matters more than any outer way that we identify. And let's get a little help on how to identify ourselves spiritually from our dear friend and writer of Unity's first book, Emily Cady. She says this: the words personality and individuality present distinct meanings to the trained mind. But by the untrained mind, they are often used interchangeably and apart from their real meaning. What does she mean by this? Well, these two words, personality and individuality, we might use to describe our identity. But there's a difference, and it has to do with how she understood these terms and what she meant by them. And so she says further about them. Personality, on one hand, applies to the human part of you. The person, the external, it belongs to the region governed by the intellect. It is the outer, changeable man in contradistinction to the inner or real man. Now, please keep in mind, she wrote this in 1896, so there was a way of referring to mankind, or humankind, in this way. And then she says individuality, and this is how she uses this term. It's a little different than maybe used commonly, but this is how she understood it. Is the term used to denote the real man. One's individuality is that part of one that never changes its identity. It is the God self. Individuality never changes. So I think maybe you're beginning to see what she's talking about here, how she defines these terms. And there are these two aspects of who we are. This outer persona that we can see physically, that we can look at your ID and know your name and your date of birth, and we can look at your DNA and know what that is in terms of your ancestral heritage. But our real identity, at the core, beyond just all the outer stuff, that's unchanging. That's a spiritual aspect of ourselves. As the Daily Word said today, I live with the assurance of my divinity. And that's not easy for everybody to accept, is it? We really think about it, even with ourselves who may have been studying in New Thought, metaphysics, and unity for a long time, know it intellectually, but when we get right down to it and say, I live with the assurance of my divinity, and we're like, really, my divinity? I don't feel real defined right now, whatever that means. But when we go deeper, when we go within a meditation, we go within in prayer, then we start to sense that. It has a lot to do with what we put our I am, which is kind of the identifying phrase we use, toward. And quite often it's what we do for a living, I am, minister. We identify with our jobs and the roles we play. But still, that's the level of what Emily Cady calls the personality. That's the outer. That thing can change. And you might not have the same job you've had your whole life. And that may not be really who you are. Then there's this other word, individuality. And for the sake of our discussion, it's not the outer or the personality. It's that something that each individual is at their deepest core. And this is an essential part of Unity's teachings. What we call Unity's second principle. Let's say it together. We are spiritual beings created in God's image. The Spirit of God lives within each person. Therefore, all people are inherently good. How do I identify? As this? It's something to think about. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, he had a favorite Bible statement, Bible phrase. It's a real short one, not long. Christ in you, the hope of glory. In Unity, we distinguish between Christ as being equal to Jesus, but understand that Jesus, Christ, the Christ refers to, that anointing of God in Jesus, but that it's in everybody. It's in every one of us. It's the spiritual being of us that does give us hope. It's something that we can rely on, the hope of good. It's consistent with, if you go back to the book of Genesis, first chapter, where we find out that humankind is created after the what? The image and likeness of God. Whoa, really? Yeah. Yeah. At our core. Again, it's not the outer, the personality, the DNA part of us. It's the inner self. It's the Christ self. Jesus himself talked about this in the book of Matthew. You are the salt of the earth, but what good is salt? If it has lost its flavor, can you make it salty again? It will be thrown out and trampled underfoot as worthless. And you are the light of the world, like a city on a hilltop that cannot be hidden. And no one lights a lamp and then puts it under a basket. Instead, a lamp is placed on a stand where it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your good deeds shine out for all to see, so that everyone will praise your heavenly Father. You are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world. Jesus didn't say, I'm the salt of the earth and I'm the light of the world, and you can sign up to find out more about it over here. No. That's what he said who you are. Now, if you don't believe Jesus, you don't believe the book of Genesis, you don't believe the writer of Colossians, possibly Paul, let's look to a true Bible scholar here to understand our spiritual identity. Yeah. If a God made a man in his image, why aren't we all like invisible? Huh? Life is learning to be okay with who we are, with our identity, our personality, our physical being, and to be authentically who we feel ourselves to be, in the outer sense and inwardly as well. To not have to give in to the pressure of opinion and viewpoints, to simply live the truth of who we are. I want to close with some lies about identity. These are good ones. I am what I have. I am what I do. I am what others say or think of me. I should get out a big X and just put it there. That isn't who we are. The question of this talk is, how do we identify? Or if you go back to the image of that rock band, who are you? Who? If you know the song. I really want to know. It's however you wish to identify. And that's up to you and nobody else. It's now time to sing a song. Oh, yeah. As soon as I find out which one it is. I'm getting there. Here we go. Number 15. Oh, gosh, is this good? I am that I am. Number 15, Blue Book.
What I bring to you is the best in me, my prayerful highest possibilities. I am that I am, showing up, rejoicing in the I am, shining in you. What I bring to you is the best in me, my prayerful highest possibilities. I am that I am, showing up, rejoicing in the I am, shining in you. What I bring to you is the best in me, my prayerful highest possibilities. I am that I am, showing up, rejoicing in the I am, shining in you.
Thank you, Gay and Alyssa. We now have an opportunity to share of our love and our treasure with our ministry, Unity of Springfield. So if you came here with a donation to share, you will find glass bowls at the rear and at the front of the sanctuary to receive your gift. You can also give electronically. Go to our website, unityofspringfieldil.org, and click on the donate link. Also, you can text to give at 217-335-4121. You can also mail us a donation, 417 East Cordelia Street, Springfield, Illinois, 62703. And we are so grateful for everyone who supports this ministry of love and empowerment. And so let us now join together with our prosperity statement together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful. Amen. Let us now join together in praying the prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let's now rise, join hands if you wish, as we sing, Let There Be Peace on Earth. Being that we truly identify with. Have a great week, everybody.